Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren Roques is filling in for Jess, and we got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We got the brother Da Vinci. Welcome.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, man.
Feeling good?
It's good to be here with
It's
you.
crazy Jess not even here. And she been saying we need to get Da Vinci up here forever.
For like
she been
months.
Up here.
Yeah.
And she not even here.
Oh, damn, that's my dog. I love Jess.
How you know Jess? Just from the Instagram?
Yeah, no, Instagram and running into her. Like, I went to a few of her comedy shows. I started doing comedy, so it's like I watch a bunch of comedians. And
Okay.
every time I go watch her live, I'm like, bro, she's good.
Yeah.
Like, she's actually great. She understands the art of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you just start doing comedy? Like, what made you?
Who
Because
told you
that's
funny?
not easy.
Who told you you're funny?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I started doing a lot of speaking, right? Because mental health stuff and just different type of keynote speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And moderating here and there. And when I was doing that, like, you know, the audience, they would laugh a lot. And in my family, like, you know, I joke around a lot, I bullshit a lot with my friends and stuff like that. So someone was like, yo, I think you should start doing comedy because it's going to build a different type of confidence for speaking. And I was just like, all right, bet. Let me just, you know, give it a try. So I just started hosting it and I started developing a love for it. And with that, I just, you know, last year I did like 15 cities.
Mm-hmm.
This year I started off with 1. I'm probably going to do like 12 more. And I mean, it's fun. I feel like I'm already an anomaly by the grace of God. You know, I made it out in my situation. It's like, why not just try like whatever at this point, you know?
So when you were on stage, like, doing your mental health advocacy, you was telling like your story about things that you're going through.
Right.
And people thought it was funny.
Nah. The way I would break it down,
Okay.
the analogies that I use to have people, especially our community, grasp the concept of mental health is so I make it in a way that is just digestible. You know what I'm saying? And then in doing that, you know, people are laughing, and I'm like, you know what if I like try to like hit the stage and like just even drag it out some more?
It makes sense. I mean, you know, they always say they say tears of a clown, right? So it's
Right.
like one thing about black people, we know how to turn our trauma into something that either people can learn from or people can be entertained by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go back. For most people that don't know who Da Vinci is, or they probably seen you but don't know the name, how did you get into the acting business? I'm sure people know you from Power or from BMF. How did you
Damn,
get
that's crazy.
How did you get
Said
into
Power.
I meant
Disrespected
BMF.
you.
It's the same.
I
No,
forgot
it's
y'all
not.
be
It's
having
totally
like
different
no,
set.
they be having beefs.
I know it's the same
Different
family.
set, same block.
It's the same
No,
family.
different set, same block though.
But how did you get into acting? I know you started off as a rapper, so break the people down where you from, how you started, and your journey.
Bet that. So I'm from Brooklyn, and I was in Brooklyn. Then my mom moved to Jersey. My parents split up, and then so I was like Newark, Orange, and Newark area, and then back and forth between Brooklyn and Newark. I was getting in trouble a lot. Then I moved to Florida, and then I got arrested, and my dad was like, "Yo, I gotta keep him." I was just a badass kid, just following the people in my environment, the people around me. And when I was in Florida, I went to all-white high school. And that kind of changed my life. That changed my perspective on life. I was seeing things that I've never really saw before. So it really just started developing my brain in a different way. And then afterwards, when I went to college, at one point, my brother was like, bro, like we should really like try this like rap and shit and this entertainment shit. I'm like, bro, that's impossible, bro. It's not gonna.
What school you went to? What college?
I went to college, Central Florida.
Central Florida, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, this is bullshit. This is not gonna like be a real thing or whatever. And I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna try it. And I moved back up north with my mom's, and then Gloria Carter, shout out to her, Jay-Z's mother. She had this Diamonds in the Rough. I don't know if you guys ever
Yeah, the
heard
group?
of that. Yeah, no.
The foundation.
Yeah, and it's like a little restaurant thing, foundation.
Oh, it was
part
in
of it.
Newark.
Yeah, in Newark.
The Jamaican spot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was, yep, exactly. It was Caribbean food, yep.
In Newark. Yeah.
Yep. So
I remember
mad
that,
people
yeah.
would come there, and every Thursday she had this open mic thing. So I got discovered from there. So I was like rapping, doing music there. And then I was in the studio, I was recording a lot. But then after a certain point, I was like starting to lose love for it, because you know, it's one thing when you're on the outside looking in, but then when you really start getting into business and then you see what they're promoting, what they're pushing you, the direction that they're pushing you towards, I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to perpetuate this. Like this is really like, people take this serious, you know? So I was like, damn, I don't like this. And at the same time, I was told like, yo, you should start acting too, because it's gonna help with stage presence. So I started acting. Shout out to Mark John Jeffries. He was the boy from Losing Isaiah, and he played 50 in Get Rich or Die Trying. And Lil C's, and he was teaching this acting class in New York. And I was like, yo, let me take it. And I started taking it. And then I started meeting people. Shout out to Lil Mama, because she was the one like, yo, she was like, yo, come to LA. Like, you should be my manager. Then the rest was just history. And then by the grace of God, I just started booking consistently.
Little mama wanted you to be her manager?
No. She was like, she was like, nah, come to, she was like,
Okay.
come to LA and meet my manager. She was like, yo, you talented, you speak different languages, you rap, you do this and that. And I was just like, bro, she ain't gonna want to sign me. And she was like, bro, just go. And then I went, and I just started booking consistently.
How was the all-white high school? What did that do for you, other than cause you to lose your virginity?
Jesus.
Nah, it was crazy because you started realizing like how broken the environment and the community that I was, you know what I'm saying? And then when I went there, people was judging me based off, like they was judging my intellect based off how I spoke English. Like, I remember one time I was talking to this one other black dude in my class, and I was like, yo, nigga, you weak. And she was like, you weak is your, Y-O-U, possibly. I was like, damn, and like she made this big scene in front of the class, and I was like,
She corrected you on that, but not calling her nigga?
Right, exactly, right? That was crazy. But anyway, I was like, bro, like that's our vernacular. Like we choose to speak like this because because of our environment, but like I could speak properly if I want to. But then I started realizing, I'm like, yo, around these white folks, like I got to change how I speak. And I just started educating myself, and I started reading books, and I just started changing a lot because I was like, in this environment, like my upbringing, it ain't conducive here. It ain't serving me here. Like I'm just like a criminal, so it changed me a lot. And then I had teachers that believed in me more. Like up north, one of my teachers, they told me literally, I swear, she was like, most of y'all gonna end up dead in jail.
This is at the white?
No.
This is
up north, yep. In Jersey, actually. And I should shout out to school, but I ain't even do it. But she was
shout out to teacher.
The teacher,
God,
yeah. Her name was actually Miss Dixon. But she was like, yeah, most of y'all gonna end up or in the army or like at a dead-end job. And I mean, she wasn't lying because that is what happened.
That day that what got her to that speech?
Because we was just
acting up in class.
Yeah, we was like, I was bad as hell.
So you ain't say that now. You gotta get some context.
Yeah.
Like she just came in the
Nah,
house
like, well, nowhere.
But the thing is though, it's like she still could have been more positive because we don't know, we just kids, you know what I'm saying? But when I was in Florida, like I remember I had this teacher, like I was in a slower math class when I first got there, and then she was just like, yo, you're so smart. Like, you could really, like pass all this shit. And I passed all my tests. And she was like, you need to be in algebra honors. I was like, what? I was like, bro, I'm not going to do that. And I went from having D's and F's to graduating high school with a 4.1 GPA.
Wow. To your point about the teacher could have said, hey, if y'all don't change y'all lifestyle, if you don't change the way you're acting, then you're going to end up. That's how I was always
But did she say that? And because sometimes you only hear what you want to hear. All you hear is, y'all ain't going to be shit. But you ain't missed the first part, which is like, if y'all don't change, y'all ain't going to be shit.
Yeah, nah, you're probably right. She probably did say that, but I just heard like something else. And I was like, damn. I was like, I bet. I hope she have a TV now.
What you said about the school, I hope she got a TV now. You know, Steve Harvey allegedly sends one of his, I think it's an old teacher, somebody that told him he would never make it in TV. So he sends them a TV every year.
Every year sends her a new TV. Allegedly.
Damn,
I don't know if that's true, but
I should do that.
That's hard, though.
That's a lot of money, though.
But what you said about the code switching is real because a lot of times they try to give people flack for code switching, but it's not that you code switching. Sometimes you just don't want to reinforce negative stereotypes of black people.
Exactly. And I feel like we perpetuate that enough with the media. Like we gotta, some of us got to be a good representation of us because we not looking too good. Honestly.
Identity-wise, though, like going from your neighborhood and what you were used to then to this new school and feeling that way, like, yo, I got to kind of switch it up a little bit. Because you still growing up at the same time.
Right.
Who were you talking to about like what your identity as a man should be? Because that's such a hard place to be in where you're over here, but you come from this, you got family that's still, back in your old neighborhood. Like, what was that journey like?
I think, honestly, I was just going through the motions, you know what I'm saying? So I really didn't have like a figure to look towards as like an identity for a man. My older brother's like, I'm the baby, so my oldest brother, like, shout out to him, damn, like, he basically, like, raised us, until I went to my pops. But, I guess that was my idea of a man, and he was, like, this high school phenom basketball player. So he really was that father figure. So I looked up to him, for real, like, as much as, like, what a man should be. But the rest is, honestly, it's by the grace of God. Like, I'm super fortunate. Like, I'm well aware that I'm not supposed to be here or really, like, able to express myself, be disarticulate, because the amount of feedback that I receive from people, I'm like, damn, why are y'all so shocked? I'm like, oh, that's because they looking at the numbers like, it shouldn't happen. So it's just God.
I mean, that's God. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care about no statistics. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you tell me. You can tell me I'm one of 40 million or this many people from my hood ended up like this. What that got to do with me?
Right.
You know?
No, that's facts. You're a product of grace.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I was going to say, do you remember the first show you booked?
Yeah, Marvel
Acting.
Jessica Jones.
How was that? Tell us
I
that
was
story.
scared
I
as
love that
hell.
show.
Yeah, I was scared as hell. I was just like, it was 2 weeks after I signed with an agency, and I remember like my manager calling me at the time, and she was like, hey, you booked it. And I was just like, what? And she was like, yo, you actually booked it.
You
I was like,
actually booked it?
I was like, stop playing. And I was like, and I just remember being shocked, and I just felt like Will Smith in that Pursuit of Happiness moment. At the end, I was just in the Bronx walking from the gym, the Crunch gym, and I was just like, bro, this is crazy. I'm like, bro, I ain't telling no one this right now.
Refresh my memory. What part did you play? I used to watch all those Marvel
So
shows.
I was this guest star, basically this scientist. My dad was like a scientist, and when I was born, my face was like disfigured and shit like that. And then he took me to some lab and then fixed it. And then Jessica Jones was trying to find out how did that happen, and she was trying to get to my dad, so she got to me.
Okay.
And then so then she had to she used her super strength and shit, and I was like acting like she was mad strong. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. And the scene took like 8 hours. I was like, bro, this shit is long.
Nah, I used to watch Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil. I watched all of them.
Oh damn. Oh, he was hit.
Now you on the Mary J. Blige Family Affair series. The third installment of the series is what is it called? Family Affair.
Family Affair, yeah,
Family
yeah,
Affair.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it been doing that?
That's been great. Honestly, that's probably one of my most favorite projects, only because it was a role that had nothing to do with being black. We were just existing, you know what I'm saying? And it promotes the family nucleus, you know, in the black community specifically. I feel like a lot of us, you know, we promote things that is to our demise and to our destruction. So to be a part of a project so early in my career, you know, that is promoting, you know, what happens when having a family, the sacrifices that's being made and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, that's fire, bro, because it's done in a way that I feel like, you know, some kids watching this at home probably like, yo, I want that one day, you know, because we got so much content and material that is doing the complete opposite. So to play something like this is like, bro, I feel like God is like smiling down like, yeah, good job, bro.
And when I watched it, all I kept thinking to myself is like, man, he loves her so much. Like
Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, not me.
Well, you know what I mean. In the movie,
Some people
To
don't.
be clear.
Yeah.
Some
He's like,
people
be
don't.
clear.
for real, that happens where people like.
Hell yeah, people be watching them like, yo, bro, I feel like you like her, really. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, I'm doing my job, man. Like,
Yeah, well, as an actor in the Family Affair,
Thank you.
watching it, I was like, wow, he loves her so much. But there were times, I mean, there was a lot that y'all had to deal with. Like,
Right.
I don't want to give it away, but as an EP on the project, because you're EP, right?
Right.
On the project, are you an involved EP where you're making those decisions to show, like, it was like subtle moments. Like, one time I think y'all went to a restaurant and she didn't order something and you noticed and you're like, what's wrong? Because you didn't order blah, blah, blah. Little stuff like that. Are you being like, oh, we should do that as an EP, or is that coming from somewhere else? Like,
that adjustment, no, but a lot of things, like, yeah, I'm definitely like behind the scenes. I'm like, guys, we can't put this out. Like, I'm like, bro, this is not, like, this don't really happen, you know? And a lot of times it was dope because they gave us the creative freedom to say certain things, because oftentimes stories like this, a different race is heavily involved. Like, there's Caucasian producers that really don't really know some of the intricate details what happened in the black community. So they really like sat back. A lot of times it was very like collaborative, you know. Shout out to the producers, John, Jordan Davis, Jeremy, and everyone, Bruce, and everyone, Mary, of course, like all of them. And so it was fire because I was really able to be like, nah, guys, like, nah, this is gonna send the wrong message. And like they listened. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, what? Like, people don't even know. Like, I really influenced that.
Before you was in the business, did you pay attention to the images of black people on television? Because I've heard you mention that a few times.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I thought it was very disrespectful, personally. Like, you know, a lot of times when you meet Europeans or white people that's really not exposed to black people in this country, they have this preconceived notion that we're like very ignorant. Like, the amount of times that people are like, oh man, you're so young and you speak so well and articulate. I'm like, as opposed to what? Like, I'm like, bro, like, it's like, because it's that many people that is like, because oftentimes what we do, and I've been watching, because I've been watching y'all for a while, and different things, and I've been like, bro, it's like they be asking the right questions to the wrong people sometimes, and then they say something like, oh my God, now the world think that's how we all think. And I'm like, no.
Give me an example.
Hell nah. Hell nah, that was a good one. That was a good one, but it's just like, I'm like, bro, you having people answer certain questions about politics and they don't know shit about it, or certain things about, I'm just like, important things. I'm like, bro, and I'm not trying to sit here and say I know everything. It's okay to say I don't know.
Right.
I'd be like, bro, I don't have enough information on this, so I'm not about to just give the wrong information, but you know, and when that happens a lot, or the content, and like, I mean, we're looked at as violent as fuck. Like, people are scared of us, boy. Like, our stereotypes it's crazy, and we're perpetuating the hell out of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but that's something that was designed since the beginning of time.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not even about this modern day era of media that we're in. Like, literally, the big black man has been the villain in history forever.
Right. And to justify slavery and racism and all this stuff towards black people, but I just feel like we don't have to perpetuate it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's like, because during the Reconstruction era, that little short 12 years, like, we were outpacing white people really like fast in this country. And then that's when, you know, the whole concept of black people are and they started just tarnishing our image and making us look like the most feared thing on planet Earth, right? But then it's just like, and now the only ways we get famous, the only way we get successful is usually in like a situation that's just such an anomaly. You know, like for every, like, I love 50, I love Hov, I love her, but like for every 150, for every one Hov, you know how many millions is getting locked up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, that shit's that's crazy. Like, or for every one LeBron, like, to be a LeBron, bro, that's 0.00. God only make a handful of big niggas that can move like that. You know, and so many people like really think they can be that. I'm like, bro, like, you got your priorities fucked up. Like, you're going after something that is far from the majority. Like, you're going after something that is pure favor and grace, and that's a supernatural advantage that God gave you to really fulfill his will and his job. So it was like, that's not something that you can really bank on, bro. You know? And it's just like, but you got, like, we're banking on these things, which is like crazy.
You're not wrong, though. It is intentional. You ever seen that old movie? It's old, though, like dumb old, called Birth of a Nation. And it showed all of the black people, and basically they were elected officials, and they were like, you know, eating chicken with their feet and licking their fingers. Like, it was just, that's where actually the negative stereotype of chicken came from. But they did that because they wanted to show this is what happens if you put black people in politics. And this was like in the 40s, I think it was. So yeah, it's absolutely intentional. And I always think about, like, after the 90s, because we grew up in a very positive era. Like, we had great representation of us.
Yeah, had great music too
on TV and music, right?
Yeah,
so you had the Cosby Show and the Different World and the Martins and the Living Singles and the Girlfriend. Like, all of these shows showed black people just being great working class Americans. And it was like an intentional shift to reality television.
Right. Why do you think that is, Charlamagne?
I ask everybody from the 90s that question. Like, I had, like, Michael Jamal Warner's up here, Eric Alexander. I asked him that.
Because it wasn't like it wasn't successful.
It was super successful.
Yeah.
Cosby Show was the #1 show on television. Different World was #2. So it's like, how does that happen? It was intentional, and
I think y'all know something.
Y'all
just not saying it.
I just got here. I don't know nothing.
Tell me what you think.
I just started this business, man. I'm trying to make my money.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make my coins. Yeah. If I start really doing comedy on like a whole nother level, start touring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Making some M's like from touring.
Get 20 million in the bank.
Yeah, I'll start.
I'll tell you the truth.
I'll start that shit. Yeah, I'll tell you that. I think I know exactly what's going on. No, I'm playing. I don't.
Well, congratulations, too.
Appreciate you.
You and GloRilla. Heard you got her pregnant and did the nice cute photo shoot and all that. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, Glo is funny as hell. Yo, she is so famous.
You ain't deny that one. You denied when Lauren brought up whoever she brought up. You ain't denied Glo. You ain't say that. I was just acting.
You say her name, Ajana?
Adriana. No, Adriana, that's my dog.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
But the Glo thing, I mean, it was for the video, right?
Yeah, of course it was for the video. Glo is so famous, bro. It's crazy. People was coming up to me in the street saying, oh, that's Glo's baby daddy. I'm like, first of all, Jesus, like, I've been in this shit longer than Glo's been around. And then second of all, like, the other people was coming up to me and saying, oh my God, you done trapped my girl.
You didn't want to leave with this not real?
Yeah, and it was like, and they was thinking I trapped Glo. I'm like, yo, I make like a good like salary. Like, I've been making good money. Like, before Glo even came into this, I'm like, hey, you're saying I trapped her? That's crazy. Her following is like legit, bro.
Are you gonna put a ring on her, or you just gonna keep it baby daddy? What you gonna do?
Have you ever had more kids?
Nah, that's my. I don't think Glo want kids. Glo is focused on career right now. That's priority.
Who introduced you to just therapy and mental health? Like who told you you need to go out there and do some work on yourself? Or did you have people around you that was doing it and you decided to do it?
I think it's my boys like that. I got some friends that are strong believers in the Bible, like whether they're conservative Christian, they're Pentecostal, Jehovah's Witness, things like that. And in the conversations that we have, oftentimes when I'm talking to them, it's like they hold up a reflection in my face, and it's really good because a lot of times with certain spiritual things, it's like you can only see yourself spiritually, just like you can only see yourself physically through a mirror or if somebody's telling you there's something on your forehead. If I'm telling you there's something on your forehead and there's no mirrors ever around, you gotta trust what I say. So there's certain things that only another person can see that's in your soul. So I think I've been fortunate enough to be around people that, you know, they hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? If I'm acting a certain way, or if I'm just being too fleshly, you know, they bring that to the forefront. So, which forced me to go to therapy at one point. I was like, bro, you know, you could just do it. And I was like, man, nah, because I grew up with like OGs where it's just like they call that shit all type of soft, weak names. That
all them niggas needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single one.
They needed the most, right? And then I went there, and then, you know, just thinking about certain things in my childhood and the way they was breaking that down and bringing that up. I was like, yo, I'm like, bro, we all need this, and it's like a superpower. It's like the first time I feel like you ever just look at yourself in the mirror, get a haircut, and brush your teeth. Like that's what it do spiritually to you. Like, but a lot of people are walking around like, bro, they're so unaware of what's going on, and the ironic thing is like they think they know so much. It's like the people that's just so far from themselves and from reality, they got the biggest opinions and know so much. But, you know, I feel like when you go there, it kind of humbles you and it allows you to see yourself from like a third party perspective, and it's healing, man. We need that.
In the family affair, you deal with your brother who has mental like health issues
Right.
himself, and you try to help him through that. He stops taking his meds. There's a bunch of stuff that happens. But then also you start having your own like struggles because
Right.
you have a lot of pressure. I remember the first scene when you're in your office and it's like an anxiety attack. And I recognize it as an anxiety attack because we talk about it a lot.
Right.
But do you have people reaching out to you? I guess it didn't air yet. Never mind. Scratch that question. In you doing that, does it trigger anything for you because you had to go through therapy yourself? I'm assuming you dealt with some stuff that was heavy, kind of like what your character Ben dealt with. Like, did any of that trigger you?
Definitely. Like my life at home is like, it's a tough one. Like, you know, my brothers go through it, and they're going through it. And my family they're going through it currently, you know. So it's definitely a lot of pressure. You know, that movie in a way was kind of mirroring like some real stuff in life. But yeah, I just try to keep good people around to just help carry me and lift me up. But yeah, it's a lot going on back home. And usually when you're the one that like, you know, you make it out, so to speak, it's like it is a blessing and a curse. You know, because then you start speaking a language that nobody around you understand anymore. And it's like you're speaking everything but English. And it's the most frustrating thing because it's like you watch the way you could help somebody. They're asking you for advice, but then the things that you're saying, they're not even taking it. And then you're just like, it's almost going to drive you into insanity when you're the only one that makes that. And then you're forced to create an extended family. Thank God that we can meet people and have this family. But at the same time, you're just receiving so much shit from back home that it's like, it's such a fucked up thing. Like it's like it's not what it's all cracked out to be. It's a blessing because yeah, you're financially free, but like you've been tasting this financial freedom, but you've been also building yourself in a prison simultaneously, and you're like, damn.
When do you
like,
separate though? When do you say, you know what? Sometimes I got to step away so I can be free mentally.
That's why I got a lot of dogs, and I go into nature, and most of my friends is not entertainers. Like I love the business Hollywood, but that's not a real place. I had a real life, you know. So, and I'm so aware that that's not a real place, and that's the way I try to separate out of that. And I ride horses. I just do mad shit in nature, bro. Like that's the only, and that's when I communicate with God. And I read scripture. Like God is the real reason why I'm like sane. Like the reason why. And I was talking to the Surgeon General about this in the U.S. Dr. Vivek Murthy. So he hit me up last year to hop on the last leg of his tour. We are made to connect because of the national crisis right now, the mental health situation. And when we was having these conversations, man, he was just like, it's literally because we're not connecting to a higher power anymore, you know? And it's like, we literally have, I believe it's like a worship chromosome in like every human being to praise a deity, to do this. But what we're doing, we're taking on these burdens in a narcissistic way. And like, we're carrying a weight that we were never meant to carry. Like we're trying to fight this battle that's way bigger than us. And when you just put all your worries, you cast all that onto the Lord, like it's like, it seems like a lot, but you're like, nah, I'm good. Like I know I'm just fighting a good fight, bro. Like this really is battle. I'm just a soldier. So it alleviates that. And that's how I'm able to just go about my day. Like by the grace of God, I'm not on any type of, you know, certain stabilizers mentally or whatever, because God is that for me.
You letting a lot of people let ego lead instead of letting God lead.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's why I always tell folks, man, I believe in God and therapy.
Yeah.
If you're a religious person, like, I'm not gonna sit down and talk to nobody. I respect you for being religious because I'm a spiritual person, not religious, but I believe in God and going to therapy at the same time.
And I appreciate that, man, what you preach, because you talk about therapy a lot in your book and interviews and certain things. I was like, yo, like, he's not just like, he just don't talk mad shit. Like, you really like,
I used to talk mad shit until I started going to therapy. Then,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah, 2016, I started going to therapy, and I think whether you want to or not, if you're doing it for real, it's going to change you.
Absolutely.
You can't hide it.
Absolutely.
It's like DMX and Belly. When he was undercover, in the nation.
Yeah.
He was undercover, but it got to him. It's like, oh, shoot. So if, once you start doing it, like, it's going to change you if you're doing it for real.
It's inevitable. No, you're right. That's 100% right.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go to BMF. How did you get BMF? How was that situation?
That was fire. That was actually during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was fortunate enough, again, man, I hate to keep saying God, but, bro, it's
no,
the truth.
don't ever hate to say
like,
right.
I don't want to be that person, but, like, God's timing is crazy. So, like, right before the pandemic, we was blown up on All American.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the pandemic hit, All American got way bigger. Like, it was like the biggest show in the world because everyone's sitting their ass at home. So we was like, we got so famous that it was unprecedented. Like, it was like they was gonna cancel the show on CW, and Netflix made this show like just a household name. Wow. And in doing that, I had like 3 different offers for different shows, and I saw BMF coming. I was like 50 Cent. I was like, oh snap, this is fire. But I was like, for a second, I thought it was one of the power things. Because I'm not gonna lie, I never wanted to do power. I've never, only because it's like I feel like I wanted my first drug thing story to be a true story. Like I didn't want to just do it just to do it, because when you're doing it. And no shade to anybody that do it. The little Power Boys, Michael and Gianni, them. I love them.
Little Power Boys.
I love them. Like, they cool. They cool as hell. Like they little in stature and just everything.
Jesus.
But nah, not just that. But I was just like, if I'm gonna do that, like it would be fire if it's like a true story, And I was like, yo, this is 2 brothers that ran one of the largest domestic drug distributions in the history of this country, and I was like, bro, this is crazy. And then I did an audition, and they knew who I was, and I 50 watched the show All American, the showrunner, a lot of producers, and it was like one audition that I tested, and I was reading alongside Lil Meech, and it was like, bro, like, you bring something out of him that's da-da-da-da, whatever, and I booked it, and I was like, bro, and I actually went out for B. Mickey and Terry.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really, yeah.
Did you ever sit with T?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a real dude, man. He's a solid guy, and he's like an oracle. He's just like this wise OG that just sit back, and then just he narrate from his perspective, but he try not to get in the way. And honestly, one of the greatest compliments he gave me was when he was just like, bro, the way you're portraying this character is fire, and even off screen, it's like when people see you, they see me, and everything that you're doing. It's such a great representation of me, and I just want to say thank you. And I'm like, to me, that was like an Emmy. Like, forget what the critics got to say. Like, the man that I'm portraying is like saying thank you, and you're doing a hell of a job. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Let me ask a question, because it is based on a true story, but you talk about the negative images of black people. BMF was, huge drug dealer. So how do you, justify playing that role?
Right. No, which is a great question, because I've been asked that before. This interviewer said the same thing, and I was just like, okay. And it was like, how do you feel that you're promoting that and you're perpetuating this image? I was like, well, if you watch an A24 or a Blumhouse film or anything like that, or like a Scream, and somebody's like stabbing someone 57,000 times, do you think that I'm going to go stab someone 57,000 times? No. And if that's what you're thinking, you probably shouldn't watch TV, right? So what I'm doing is like, I feel like, 1, you should receive it in the same manner that it's art, but 2, is a true story. And it's a true story about black people that was part of one of the most successful human trafficking in the history of the world. The transatlantic slave trade was one of the most successful human trafficking. Actually, it probably is. It's actually, So you got these 2 brothers in when slavery was abolished and all this stuff was happening. Now you got these brothers in the middle of nowhere. Everybody know poverty is the mother of all crime. They know, statistics show it. Benjamin Franklin said it. All the founding fathers know. That's why systemically they put these things in a certain position just for you to fail, right? And you got these brothers that rose out of that created this organization and ran this organization that they ran. And I just asked people, I challenged them to be like, imagine if they had a better environment. That would have been Steve Jobs. That could have been the Wright brothers. that could have been Elon Musk in that. That could have been, to have that courage and to lead that many men, to really listen to you and follow you and salute to you in what you're doing.
Especially niggas.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What?
Exactly. And something illegal too, because if we doing something illegal together, I don't really gotta listen to you because I can tell the cops on you at any moment. But they had, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro,
they had a cold.
Bro, that's crazy. So I just challenge people to look at it from that perspective and be like, damn, like we're a product of, I still think we live in a great country, but the founding fathers of this country built it on a certain playing field, and you got brothers that rose out at a time that there wasn't positive influences at all. So I think if they were born in different times of better influences, they would have been scientists. They would have been anything else.
100% right. You ever read the book Outliers?
No.
By Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about that in the book, and he just talks about how like all of these different people at different points in time were like they were basically being at the right place, the right time with the right circumstances. So that's how you become a Steve Jobs, a Jeff Bezos. It was somebody else.
Absolutely.
But they all came up around the same time. They're all around the same age, but it was just the right place, right time, right circumstances. When you got that kind of mind, to your point, Meech R.T. could have led any Fortune 500.
Exactly. And that's the beauty in the story. And that's how I look at it. So, I mean, people could say, you just choosing to see what you want to see, but I feel like I'm seeing it objectively in the correct way.
Did you get a chance to talk to Big Meech?
I used to actually talk to Big Meech a lot, like FaceTime, because Lil Meech would be FaceTiming him on set while he was locked up, and and talking to him, and he was just like, "Yo, bro, they be playing that all American shit all the time, like and this shit, like we watch all y'all shit, and he's cool as hell. Like those guys, honestly, that's like Bigfoot, Those are like, it's like foreign creatures that it's like, yo, what? Like every rapper mention these people, and I'm like, by the grace of God, I'm around these juggernauts, like real street legends, and then the hip hop legends. I'm just like, bro, sometimes it feel like a dream, and I'm gonna wake up and be like, bro, I had the wildest dream last night.
It's funny. I remember the first time I saw the BMF documentary, I said to myself, this shit ain't real. I'm like, if this was real, all of these dudes would be in jail. And then that's what ended up happening. So I hope that the show continues on so people can actually see the consequences to the lifestyle as well. I think that's a good teachable moment too.
Absolutely. And I think that's going to happen. I think people's going to see the ending and what happens. So that way when people are considering this, they know that they could really lose a great portion of their life.
Absolutely. Well, definitely check out Family Affair.
I was going to ask, are you and Meech cool? Like in real life? How's y'all bond?
Lil Meech? We cool. Like it's all love. I think we just, he be so busy in his world.
He can tell you rides horses, man, and be in nature.
I know, but I don't know.
Meech can be in
play
nature.
brothers on the show.
Meech be in the club. Meech be in the club. He
If
be
he
helping
can
groceries.
get the groceries, he can ride a horse.
Nah, that's great.
So he rode the horse after he got the groceries.
Or he put the groceries on the horse.
Nah, Meech be in a different world. He be in his own little world. I got love for him, but we be on this side of the planet. I'll be on that side of the planet. We come together and we work and we do our thing.
And Lauren, what was that thing about?
I was going there.
Yeah.
What's your first of all, Funny Marco's trying to take your girl.
Who's my girl?
Lala.
Oh my God.
Do you get tired of people bringing that up to you? Like just that, because on screen y'all interaction is very complicated, and then off screen there's like moments too. It's like y'all was holding hands.
Nah, I was just being a gentleman. I think she was a little tipsy, and she was like, "Oh, can you help me walk?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." And I was just doing how my mama raised me to be. Like,
you'll be turned up. You'll be sending all your checks to Lala. Okay. Play with OG Lala if you want.
He said he been getting checks since before Glo was famous. He got a couple checks to spare.
That's what I'm saying. Facts.
Ooh,
okay.
So I'm trying to be like, yeah.
You made him blush. Now he ain't blushed the whole time. He talking about Lala. Man, turn red.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy how they do it.
Yeah, but no, you are. It's a little bit harder now, though. The smile's a little bit bigger.
Nah, that's wild.
I'm messing with you. But yeah, I mean, I guess so. Nothing, because y'all always say it's nothing there. But even when y'all was on Jason Lee's sit down show, it was a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even there, I was like, they kind of cute though. Like there's like a little synergy.
That's my dog. Like I think La is one of the most genuine, humans in this business. Like, and she got a spirit that is like you almost feel like you knew her forever. So like when you're around her, she brings like out like this kid in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why when you mentioned her name, I was smiling and shit. And then she give me great advice. Like, that's my dog, bro.
What's the best piece of advice she's giving you? Personal advice or work advice, whatever.
I think she helped me see situations for what it is and, like, vetting shit. You know what I'm saying? And see the other side. And, like, looking at it from an objective point of view. You know what I'm saying? Getting my emotions out of the shit. And then, like, she'll And then, or if I'm like, yo, I'm having a conversation with this person, like, what do you think? And then she'll really call me and like give me the inside scoop. Or if she don't know him, she'll be like, wait, let me find out. And at one time like from the littlest things to like sometimes they stole my social media and they were trying to like sell it back to me for like $200K. And I'm like, bro, ain't no way.
$200K?
Yeah, and I was like, yo, like what the hell, da da da. And then she hit up Kim's people and they gave me a social media person and then got my shit back in 48 hours.
Little
I was
Kim's
like,
people?
No, Kim
man.
Kardashian. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know which Kim you were talking about. Y'all was a
about
lot of
yeah,
Kims.
she said little
I didn't know which Kim. Like I went into
Little Kim, like,
we was talking about her this
shout out to
morning.
You
Little
know the
Kim, though.
Kardashians run that social media over there.
Yeah, you're right, and that is her. Like
They
her
like the
bestie.
feds. If
Yeah.
anything is happening,
How
call
fast did the
them.
turnover happen when Kim got
Bro,
on the
like
line?
48 hours.
Oh wow.
Like I thought I was done. I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to pay this or something. Like, yo, 48 hours. I don't know what they did. It was like, bro, it was
Were they
crazy.
posting crazy stuff?
Nah, they didn't post it. They was just trying to sell it back first. And then thank God they didn't post craziness. They didn't. I don't know how they did that.
How did you feel when Power got, I don't want to say canceled, but they ended Power?
I felt good about it. I was just like, I was like, damn, that sucks. They out of a job. Like I know that feeling, but I know they're about to have another spinoff. Like
It's got to be,
50,
right?
yeah, 50 is like, it's like the Avengers, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like Chris Evans and the rest just re-signed to Marvel. There's obviously about to be another Avenger. So, you know, there's about to be something else.
It'd be like Power Book 3. Or,
Exactly.
no, they already did 3. They already did 4, too.
They did 4 too, yeah.
It's probably gonna like a new force.
Yeah.
The last episode of y'all last season, y'all were like in the middle of the desert. It was like Mexico or something,
Oh yeah.
right? So y'all have another season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That should be, I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm sure like the first quarter of this year.
Got you. How do you feel? And I don't even know if you see this, but like for that last season, a lot of what I was seeing online was people being like, all right, now the storyline is getting unbelievable.
I mean, it's TV and film, you know. Like I think they gotta over exaggerate and do certain things. I mean, personally, some of the creative decisions I'll just be sitting back like, damn. But I mean, there's only so much I can do. It's almost like when you're a player on the field, or you playing football, basketball, whatever. Sometimes you just gotta run with the route that the coach tell you to, and it's like, it's bigger than you, you know. And yeah, but I shut up, I humble myself. It's like, bro, I just got in the game. I'm not trying to piss people off.
But the BMF story is unbelievable. It just is.
Honestly,
If
yeah.
you watch the documentary, I
That's
watched
true,
it back in
that's
the day,
true.
and I'm like, this is not real.
It
Like,
is,
there's no
yeah,
way
it is. Like,
this shit is really going on in Atlanta. Like, no.
Yeah, and he brought zoo animals in the club.
For
Like,
a
that was
party. Salute to
real.
Hannah
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Hannah King, that's the homie Hannah. She did that party, and she still does amazing parties now. But she
Yeah.
did that party
You know,
back
people
in
are
the
still
day.
finding cars with money in it. Like
For real?
cars that they own, limousines. They'll find a panel and they have like money in it.
I
What
believe it.
state?
Yeah, she's like, I'm about to go buy.
About to go buy some cars.
Where's this happening at? And so in the upcoming season, do you figure out love wise, like what you doing? Because you're all over the place. It's like 2 families at this point.
Yeah, I think he's more focused on the money. Like, I don't think he's ever gonna figure it out. I think it's still not figured out, honestly.
Guy math.
Yeah, it's me. Like, it's not figured out to the point that the real Marquisha's getting pissed. You know, like how that story is being portrayed. So I think they wasn't really thinking about family for real like that. They were just like, I mean, of course, like they were to a certain extent, but it was like, yo, let's figure this situation out, you know? So I don't even think they really like had the capacity to be like, yo, we want to, like, I'm going to think about really just sitting here and building family with this one or that one, you know?
Right.
But maybe that happens. I don't know.
Do people come up to you in real life upset about how you doing the girls on the show?
Absolutely.
Because you mentioned that with Adriana.
Absolutely. People really just be like, bro, why you do my girl Sydney like that, Sydney Mitchell? I'm like, bro, first of all, when you're talking about the show, you use my real name. And then when you see me outside, you use the character name. I'm like, bro, that's kind of crazy. Like when you're saying like, yo, Da Vinci was doing this for Lala, that's on the show. But then when you see me in real life, you're like, yo, Terry, yo, you Marquisha, yeah, that's my, and I'm like, yo, bro, like you got to stick to the, you know what I'm saying? Because it sound crazy. But yeah, people all the time, man, like mad gangsters be coming up to
They
me
be mad
like,
about how you meet with Lala?
yeah, absolutely. And then the gangsters be coming up to me like, yo, bro, like, first of all, they be like, yo, what is it like to fuck Lala? And I'm like, bro, that's not real. And them like, bro, there ain't no way, bro. I'm like, bro, they be, bro, tell me. I'm like, bro, that's not real. And then they start going into their meat and tea stories. I'm like, bro, like, if you tell me this shit now, I'm an accomplice, kind of, you know? Like, I'm like, I'll tell on your ass. And they just shut up and they just keep it pushing. But like the amount of gangster stories that I have to run away from, bro, I'm like, bro, please, like.
What's
I'm
your dream
good.
role?
Probably to play Toussaint Louverture or Dessalines. They were like 2 characters that was very influential in the Haitian Revolution. the Haitian Revolution was one of the most profound revolutions in the history of the world, only because it was the first time Black people gained their independence on paper, you know, and it was a small little army that destroyed Napoleon Bonaparte's army, who was known to be like the best war general at the time. So I think it'll be fire to like be a character in that story. Like that's like a real Marvel superhero to Black people. You know, like they created their own language, which is the language that I speak fluently, which is Creole, which is 75% French and like different languages, and they switched it up just so when they're fighting, when it was in the war, like the French people can't really understand, but we can understand French, you know? So it's kind of fire, and I think that story is like dope as hell, and that's one of the things that don't ever get talked about. I would love to play a character like that.
I mean, that's why they punishing Haiti to this day.
Oh, damn, Charlamagne, you said it, brother. I did not say that. Yeah, nah, for real. And you Dominican, right?
Yep, yes he is.
Yeah, what up, man? You my neighbor.
I am not Dominican.
He is.
I am not Dominican. He just said that he lying. I'm not. I'm fully Black. 100,000%.
Oh, what?
Oh, I thought you was
You
joking.
really thought that? See,
I'm
you
not-
can't be mad that people think you doing Lala wrong. You date Lala and you think
Nah,
he Dominican.
He is
that's
Dominican.
crazy.
No, I'm not Dominican. I have no Spanish in me. My parents are black, like black.
Why
You don't
lying?
speak, yo.
Show him a picture of your
swear to
parents.
I don't speak no Spanish, nothing.
He's
Nothing.
lying. I don't know why he don't claim it, but
Oh,
it's crazy.
shit.
I
That's-
am
So
black.
why'd you get nominated for a
black.
Dominican DJ award? Then?
I am black.
Why'd you get nominated for a Dominican DJ
Because
award?
you say it every morning on the Breakfast Club, and people really think that.
No.
Did you
Oh,
know
he really got nominated for that?
Dominican.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where your daddy from?
My daddy's black.
Where's he from?
He's black.
Where's he from?
He's black.
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
Envy.
shit. Oh,
Envy, I don't want her taking up
Yo,
for you.
that's
Where
crazy.
your dad from?
Dominica.
Oh.
It's a Caribbean island. Dominica is a Caribbean island. Dominican
Oh.
is a
Oh,
Spanish
You're,
that's
island.
true,
You're Dominican, man. Cut it out.
My dad is half black, and his father's from the island of
Why you
Dominica. It's a
listen,
Caribbean
you're not
island.
FBA, bro.
Nah,
And my
that's-
mother is 100% black. I don't really know
Why
why.
you
Nah,
being here
that-
lying like
that's
that?
actually,
It's
Yo,
not
wanna
that's
claim his
actually-
heritage.
That's
That's
not
actually
true.
hilarious. Nah,
That's
it's
not
okay,
true.
DJ Envy. Like, it's okay, man.
Okay, rep your
Nah,
set.
Yeah, rep your
Good
set.
to meet you, brother.
Yeah, likewise,
Christ.
brother. It's a pleasure to be here with
Absolutely.
y'all.
Make sure you check out Family Affair premiering January
Yes.
25th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Lifetime while Envy looks up his birth certificate.
You gonna be- they
Look
gonna-
look at my picture so you can see my parents.
and he can't find no picture where he don't look Dominican.
Nah, I gotta go
White
through-
jeans, curly hair, Giants jerseys. Knock it off. It's the Breakfast
Wait,
Club.
wait,
Did
West
you,
Jordan?
did you play baseball?
No, I actually play football.
He said football.
I'm from Queens Village, so Queens Village is nothing but Haitians.
Nah,
So
that's
we
real.
learn
And
football
that's
first.
your cousins. Dominicans and
my
Haitians are the same
freaking
thing.
God.
What are Dominicans?
Same Haitian.
Light-skinned Haitians.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Same thing.
I'm black. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.